Okay, well, since everyone is here, I think we should get started. Okay, first I would like to welcome you all and thank everyone for coming for listening to today, and especially as such short notice. And I know you all were very busy, and it's difficult to take time away from your everyday daily tasks and for meetings. Okay, thanks again for being present this meeting. Okay, it is like everyone is here today. Okay, and we call this meeting to order.
Yes.
Okay, we'll begin now. And can we proceed regarding of the minutes, previous minutes meeting?
Sure. In the previous meeting, we discussed on how to achieve the target sales. After discussion, our final decision is introduce special promotion. After applying this plan, we can see that our sale has increased.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, what about the rest of the
It looks fine.
fine?
It looks fine too.
Okay. If that is the case, will someone move the last minute of meeting to be accepted?
I propose that the last minute will be accepted. I second the motion.
Okay, I confirm that the meaning of the last meeting, and let's move on to the agenda. We will be talking about way to handle stress among employees. First, we'll discuss on providing stress management courses. After that, we'll discuss the offers on counseling services, followed by reducing workload for employees. If time allows, we will also discuss on introducing flexible working hours. Next, I'm going to request some feedback from you all, discovering that many employees fail to perform at work and where you think we can improve. And finally, we'll be deciding on our plan for the next course of action. Okay, let's move on. Suhaila, would you like to make any point considering on providing the stress management course?
Okay, sure. Thanks to Alice. Okay. Well, from my point of view, what Alice is proposing sounds fine. I am a bit concerned about our agenda today is about ways to help your employee handle stress effectively and plan the next course of actions. Okay, my point is about providing stress management course. Stress management is a wide spectrum of techniques and physiotherapists aim of controlling a person's level of stress, especially chronic stress. Usually for the purpose of improving everyday functioning. In this context, the term stress refers only to a stress with significant negative consequence on this stress in the terminology. Stress produces numerous physical and mental symptoms which vary according to each individual's situational factors. This can include physical health decline as well as depression. The process of stress management is named as one of keys to a happy and a successful life in modern society. Okay, sorry. Many practical stress management techniques are available, some for use by health professionals and others for self-help, which may help an individual reduce their level of stress, provide positive feelings of control over one's life, and promote general well-being. And the first point that employee must create personal stress management plan by how they tackling their problems. They must identify and then address the problem. First, decide if a problem is a real tiger or just feel like one. If it can't hurt you, chances are that it can be better handled with clear thinking. There are three ideas that can help you manage a lot of work. And the first is break the work into a small pieces, make list of what you need to do. This will help you sleep because your head will not spin with worry about whether you can do everything. And the second plan is the employee must avoid stress when possible. Sometimes we know exactly when we are headed for trouble. Avoiding trouble from a distance is easier than dealing with it up close. You know the people who might be a bad influence on you, the place where you are likely to get in trouble, and the things that upset you. Choose that. Not to be around these people, places, and things that mess up you. And the third is to provide stress management caused by the employee must take care of their body by they must exercise, active leisure, eat well, sleep well, and others. The employee also must, as we as a Muslim, we need to check when we stress, we need to take wudu, salat duha, zikrullah, and respect the time for salah. So the employee will get blessed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inshallah. That's my point is about providing stress management cost is the ways to handle the employee's to handle the employee stress.
Okay, yes, that's a good point, Sandra.
Okay, thank you.
So that you might have some ideas on the best way to covering the problems. Okay, Yasira,
Yes.
could you run us through the considered action on counseling offered services?
Sure. Due to our company have many employees fail to perform at work because of stress, I suggest we offering counseling services to our employees. Through the counseling process, we can providing a sounding board for an employee, give them a safe place to talk about issues that trouble them and allowing counselors to help them find their own solutions to problems or develop better ways to manage their issues. Besides, our company can pay for counseling by recruiting a workplace counselor either full-time or part-time depending on the size of the workforce in our company and look over to our company's budget. Besides, we can choose to invest in an employee assistance program, which is this package include counseling support provisions, often from a nationwide pool of weighted affiliate counselors. Next, during the counseling service, we can add Islamic ethical value in themselves, which is Islam provides Muslims with a code of behavior, ethics, and social values, which help them in tolerating and developing adaptive coping strategies to deal with stressful life events.
So here we are saying by giving counseling services, reduce the employee stress.
Yes.
That's great. And okay, thank you. Can we proceed to the next decision or point? Jannah, can I know regarding on reducing workload for employees for you?
Sure. As we know lately, our employees now are more stressed and less concentration in their work. After being observed, one of reason is too much workload that we gave to them. As you mentioned before, from observation, 47% of our employees across various sectors state that they work longer works to get the job done than they did a year ago. A third of managers also confirm that they expect employees to put in this extra time and take fewer breaks to meet the demands of their growing task list. With this cultural shift happening before our eyes, the size of our workloads not going anywhere and department budget not growing. Managers in call centers are struggling to get the work done without staff burnout, hiring more employees or losing efficiency. Here are 4 opinions on how to manage a heavy workload and cope with the extra items on our to-do list as well as our team. Okay. The first is look for different ways to get the job done. To cope with the extra workload, call center managers need to think outside the box. Simply asking our employees to turn up the crime and work faster and harder will not solve our problem. Chances are they are already doing their best to turn up quality work as quickly as possible. To get through the pile of work, we and our employees need to find more efficient ways to get the job done. One way is schedule in a brainstorming session with our employees and find the means to simplify processes or eliminate certain tasks altogether. By addressing this as a team, we will get a variety of ideas and foster an environment that shows values of their input. For second, for second ways is prioritize and set achievable deadlines. One of the things all managers are guilty of is acting to instead of helping to reduce employee workloads. If we and our employee are feeling overwhelmed, it's time to take a step back and see what is necessary and what can afford to be pulled from the to-do list. Look at the employees' individual responsibilities, our employees' collective obligations and goals, and assess which activities or tasks should be prioritized. Not all tasks deserve the same importance, and not everything has to be done in yesterday. Setting priorities and realistic deadlines help our employee focus on what really matters. And for second is assess ourselves. Self-reflection and awareness is a difficult thing to master, but is a necessary skill for any manager. As we develop strategies to help our employees cope with a heavy workload, we need to set aside time to assess if we are making the work more difficult than it needs to be. Ask ourselves the following question, for example, do we micromanage our staff? Second, are we indecisive? Next, do we fail to follow up on issues that are brought to our attention? And for last example is, what kind of atmosphere do we create in the call center? While it's never easy to admit our fault, when times are tough, effective leaders need to suck it up and work on bettering themselves to improve our employees' output. And for my last opinion is, take it one chunk at a time. A simple way to break down the hectic workload is to take it one small job at one time. Instead of focusing on the bigger picture, reduce our scope and break it apart into simple and actionable to-dos that will lead our employee to reach their goals. Schedule a meeting with our employee and decide on key over goals that we will focus on for that week. Once that has been decided, ask each person to identify what steps they will need to take in order to achieve that goal. By dissecting by a big project, our employee will feel more focused and their task list will become more manageable. That is my view on this.
What I get from your point is, employee were doing the burden with many work to be done anymore. Okay. Well, thank you for answering our question, Dana. And let's take a little more time on introducing flexible working hours. Maybe Lisa, could you explain us more detail about this?
Sure, thank you for the question. I suggest that in order to help our employee to handle stress effectively at work, we can introduce a new flexible flexible hours, or more well known as flexi time, is a flexible hour schedule that allow workers to alter workday start and finish time. By applying flexi time in our company, the employee can have to come to work during the core hours, meaning that they need to come to work from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and they can choose to fill in the rest of the day depending on their other commitment. They can choose whenever when they want to work. I also suggest that our employee can come to work at any time they want. As you all know, our standard working hours is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. By applying this new flexible working hours, they can come to work, for example, from 9 a.m. to from 4 p.m. or they can come to work late at 10 a.m. and finish late at 7 p.m. But however, in order to apply this new flexible working hours, the management need to be clear about this to the staff, and they need to keep track of the hours worked by the staff. I think that all for my point.
Such a great finding on that. Is there anything else to add, or is there a question?
I don't quite understand about Jana's suggestion. Can you be more specific about the set achievable deadline as you just said earlier?
Yes, sure. As I said before, achievable deadline can be understood as realistic deadline. We must give them work and also realistic deadline. For instance, one small work for 1 or 2 days to be done.
Okay, I see.
Miss Ina, you like if you have questions?
Yeah, I have question for point to Suhaila. Can you explain more detail about your point?
Okay, my point is about providing stress management course. It explains that the employees to handle their stress, they need to know how they tackle their problems. So the employees needs to identify and then address the problem. There are 3 ideas that can help the employee manage a lot of work by they must break the work into a small pieces and they must make list of what they need to do. This will help you sleep because your head will not spin with worry about whether you can do everything. Second is the employee must avoid stress when possible. Sometimes we know exactly when we are headed for trouble. Avoiding trouble from a distance is easier than dealing with it close. And the third is the employee must take care of their body by power of exercise, active relation, eat well, sleep well, and others. So that is about my views, my points. Miss Hiro, can you give me an example what the counselor should do on the employee to handle their stress?
Sure, thanks for your question. The counselor will teach the workers how to overcome and manage their stress. Usually, workers that have stress in the workplace will absent from work, so it can give various problems to all parties and the organization's journey itself does not have move smoothly. In my opinion, it's the good idea that can help employees who are absent from work. There is evidence that counseling support can accelerate the rehabilitation of an absent employee while we can save the organization money in the long run. Besides, this counseling service also can motivate depressed workers to be an active person and responsible workers, which they can handle their stress in the workplace. Although the main problems come from the overload work in the office or having life crisis issue. Is it clear?
Yes.
Now, give me, focusing on our plan for the next course of action. So, which idea we come up with?
I strongly agree with introducing flexible workers hours for one semester.
And I also strongly agree with the Nisa point, which is introduce flexible working hours.
I have same thought with Jessica and Sohail. Is there anything else?
Okay, I think this is a great idea to increase to handle the stress effectively among our employees because they can reduce the. I think by doing any flexible hours the stress among the staff can be reduced because they can avoid rush hour commute and they can balance their work and life more systematically.
To sum up what we have agreed for, that is introducing flexible working hours. Okay, so we are all saying that with introducing flexible working hours can avoid traffic and also the stresses of commuting during rush hours, or maybe reduces employee burnout due to overload. Flexibility where employees can take a break when they need it. Okay, it looks like we have run out of time, so I guess we'll finish here. And again, I want to thank you all for taking time of your busy supposed to be here today. I think we have covered everything on the list. If no one has anything to add, then I think we'll wrap this up. Okay, if anyone has questions about anything we discussed for today, so feel free to send me an email. And also, the rest idea will be considered on the next meeting. We'll see the progress of the idea that we discussed today. So the next meeting will be 1 week after this meeting. Date is on 28 December and time is on 10 a.m.
And if I cannot attend this meeting,
Okay, please note the secretary, your attendance.